Hey guys, welcome to another lesson. This one is going to be about how to take advantage of the best debuff to apply upon enemies, which is confusion. So if you don't remember what confusion is, let me just tell you really briefly. It is, as suggested here, enemies take more damage from attacks and slows their ki recovery. For afflicted yokai, there are some exceptions to this. They basically cannot recover their ki via generating a yokai realm, or for many bosses, transitioning into the dark realm. So this is really huge punish against yokai enemies, and it's still really good against humans, but you'll notice it the most against yokai. Now, how do you inflict confusion in the first place? Well, you have to apply 2 out of the 5 elements that you see above here. So the one exception to this is going to be that you cannot apply purity and corruption at the same time. They actively conflict. As you can see here, purity is elemental effect, enemy loses corruption, and then for corruption it's basically the same thing the other way around. So keep that in mind. Now what you can do is you can apply like fire and saturate, fire and electrified, fire and purity, fire and corruption, whatever. Just any of these 5. If you have at least 2 of them together against an enemy, they get confusion on top of these existing things. So in case if you were wondering, you could inflict confusion and saturated at the same time. Yes, so they get extra damage taken from attacks on top of confusion. And this confusion is separate from all other debuffs whatsoever, so it makes it phenomenally awesome. Now let me just show this in practice against a human enemy. My character right now has a little different of a loadout. I'm using the Sohya Guardian Spirit, and I'm using the 3 elemental Onibi cores alongside corrupted weapons, so I have access to everything. So you can just see how valuable being able to inflict confusion is. So for example, let's say I'm going to use water, familiar talismans, got water inflicted, and now the target is confused, right? Now, if what you can do, actually, against targets that are confused, is you can inflict another element to extend the duration of it. Alright, you see that? The confusion debuff has been extended. I extended it once again. And then, let's add that into place too. Oh, I guess it didn't work against him. Thank you, Space Invaders. But you can extend the duration of confusion against opponents by simply adding other elements into play. So before I showcase this on a Yoki, let's say you apply fire, then water. Well, then what you can do is, let's say after water, you can apply, let's say, purity, and then you greatly extend the duration. And then after purity, you can go with electrified. And then after that, you can go for corruption to refresh confusion. Now, the elements that have the most impact in terms of the duration for confusion include purity and corruption. So these 2, so if you can apply those, they will cause the duration of confusion to last the longest. So generally what you'll see is that players will apply either purity or corruption, then go with one of these standard elements, keep cycling them, and then as, let's say, they start with purity, once they notice that the purity itself is starting to wear off, then they apply corruption, just so that they can refresh confusion the longest. So let me try to corrupt this target first. It might take me some time because I'm special. Come on. Really? You know, I forget, I have Ongyoki. This'll work. Alright, confused, right? Wait, what? What? Okay, so that's news to me. If I activate stealth, they go away. Okay. Well then, in that case, I'll just use the Guardian Spirit Talisman. Alright, so now, thank you, Baku. Okay, this is great. This is fantastic. I really appreciate that. This is humorous. Okay, so the target has been corrupted. Let's apply some water. Alright? Alright? So let's wait for a little bit to apply another element. Alright, another element has been added. Let's break the horn, just cause. Alright, let's add another element to the mix. And notice now that corruption is gone. Let's go ahead and apply purity. And notice the entire time, he's not actually refreshing his ki whatsoever. He's just waiting. just waiting. And so he will only refresh his ki as soon as confusion evaporates. So let's see. See, bingo. Right on cue. So really valuable to know. Alright, let's take him out of commission. And boom. Alright, you're gone. Pretty cool, huh? So now you know about that. Also, one thing that you may want to know about is that even you can't just keep cycling these elements over and over and over again to to keep confusion constantly on. Once you exhaust the 5 elements the first time, you have to start from scratch. So in that case with the Yoki, I would have to basically start with a whole new element and then start the chain going again. So if I start with the corruption and I want to do corruption again, then yeah, I got to go from the beginning. So just to show you that this is the case, let me just quickly cycle the elements just so that you know, even just 3 of them will work. Let's see the Guardian Spirit Talisman yet again. Alright, so he's inflicted with that, right? Okay, let's give him lightning, then let's give him water, then let's give him fire, and then I'll just put purity on. Alright. Okay, cool. Now, let's see what happens if I try to apply corruption. No build-up. No build-up whatsoever. No build-up. Now, when confusion evaporated, then I was able to get that build-up. And so I have to start the whole chain over again if that's something I would like. So just bear that in mind. You can only do this confusion extension. Basically, it's 1 cycle with all 5 elements. Now, if you want to take further advantage of this, there is a clan that will make this even more powerful in terms of its duration, and that is the Oda clan. And so just bear with me as I get to the actual clan. It's really awesome and is something that I think many players in the depths love to have. So let me showcase this in the tea house just so that you are aware. Alright, Oda clan, as you can see, extended enemy confusion. Increases the length of time an enemy will be inflicted with this, so this is awesome. So this is great, and it's very valuable for the depths, where many bosses have an atrocious amount of ki, and it's very difficult to deplete their maximum ki. But by having an extended time in which they cannot generate the Dark Realm or whatnot, you are much more likely to be able to deplete their maximum ki when the confusion lasts like, what, 20-30 seconds. So you'll definitely want to take advantage of this, cycle your different elements, use whatever you'd like, whether that be using ninjutsu feathers, or in my case I use familiar talismans with guardian spirit talismans, or using certain soul cores that give certain elemental properties. It is really ultimately up to you how you want to go about it, but this is a very powerful tool. Of note, before I showcase a great example from one of my combo mads that takes advantage of this, you want to apply the second element to a yokai enemy just as they're about to run out of ki, because if you, let's say, try to apply confusion when they don't have ki, or sorry, when you try to apply confusion when, let's say, they still have ki, of course the confusion duration is going to run out and it's a lot harder to cycle the elements. But if you, let's say, get them out of ki with a single element and try to inflict a secondary element, there's a big chance that the enemy will just spawn the Dark Realm anyway, even if you just get them to confusion just at the nick of time. So you want to make sure to have that secondary element apply just before they run out of ki, maybe even have the element apply just as they run out of ki, the second one, so that you can cycle the elements. In any case, I'm going to let Lemon Tree actually showcase some amazing gameplay against Tateyobushi, taking great advantage of this confusion prospect that I've been talking about. So I will just showcase it from here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this clip is enjoyable and helps you enjoy the depths of the underworld alongside all sorts of other things in Nioh. I will see you guys next time.